It's like every time I've been like, this can't get any crazier, it's gotten even crazier.
Run. I get that cash and I flip it, yeah. I get that cash and I flip it.
I'll save the updates about what I'm doing now for the end, but this is just gonna be everything that's happened since I made, like, it's weird because when I made part one, I knew more things would happen only because part one was before HR had even come to visit us. And then when I made part two, I was like, oh, okay, well, not much more is gonna happen after this. So I kind of thought part two was gonna be the end, even though part two was kind of like still up in the air. I figured it was kind of, for the most part, gonna be the end. Then I made part two and I was like, damn, like, I'm gonna have to make part three for this, because every time I make a video, more shit happens. And it's not happening because of the videos, because part two is still, as I'm making this one, part two is still not even up yet. So yeah, we're gonna get right into this. I'm going to try and make this one super short because all the other ones are super fucking long, and I just feel like the introduction to my channel shouldn't always be long ass videos, because then people are gonna be like, oh gosh, like, we know every time she makes a video we're gonna have to sit here for 40 minutes. So, but yeah, I can't even say unfortunately, because I mean, I feel like they're pretty interesting, but my first couple story times are the more longer ones. I didn't purposely pick out the more longer ones to tell first. They just happen to be the ones that I feel like telling, and they're all just fucking long. They're all just fucking long. So I'm gonna try and make this a 20-minute video, and that will be the end of the crazy Mac manager stories and stuff, because I don't no longer work at Mac. So yes, if you like this video, please like, please comment, please subscribe to my channel. If you have not seen part one and part two, go watch those first, because if you don't watch those first, you will not know what the hell I'm talking about. So basically, after I made part two, a little while after I made part two, I put in my 2 weeks for Mac. I think in part two, I mentioned the fact that my ex-manager, who I'm gonna keep all the names the same. So I think I mentioned the fact that my ex-manager KJ had sabotaged the job for me at another counter at another mall, because he had one of his little minions go and say something to the woman who was over that brand that I was trying to work for. So he had one of his little minions go lie to her and say all this bad stuff, or whatever the case may be. So I didn't end up getting that job, and then somebody who else in the mall that I was at, I'm gonna make up two different names for the malls because then it's gonna be confusing. So I'm gonna call one mall the bougie mall, and I'm gonna call one mall the hood mall, because it's considered the hood mall in Charlotte. I don't think it's that hood. I actually like this mall, but it's considered the hood mall. So basically, he had one of his minions from the bougie mall, which is where I just came from, the bougie mall, go and tell the management for the specific counter that I wanted to work for at the hood mall all this whatever that she said about me. And they ended up being like, no, like, they went from wanting to hire me, tell me how many hours I'd be working and all this other stuff, and being super excited, to basically being like, giving me the runaround and being like, we don't know if we're hiring right now, blase blase. So a little while after that had happened, I put in my 2 weeks at Mac, because all in all, the whole situation at Mac had got to the point where I was just like, you know, at first I was like, I'm going to find a job first and then I'm gonna quit. I was so miserable that at that point I was just like, fuck it. I don't care if I don't have anything else lined up. Anything is better than losing my peace of mind. And my peace of mind was completely gone. During that time I put in my 2 weeks, I was over the shits. Like, it was to the point I couldn't even be cordial. One Saturday, I confronted him because I was like, you know what? I'm about to leave anyway. I've had some things I need to get off my chest, and I'm gonna say everything that I need to say. So basically, during the shift, I had told him, I said, hey, when you get a second, me and Lacey want to speak to you, because Lacey was there too this day. I was like, when you get a second, we want to speak to you. And he was like, okay. He was like, what about? And I was like, I'll just wait until you're free. And so we had clients all throughout that time. So when we got to the end of my shift, I clocked out. And when I was walking back past the counter, I was just like, hey, I know I didn't get to speak to you today, but when you're free, I still want to have that conversation. So he was like, no, we can have it now. So I was like, bet. So we go into the back office. y'all. I went the fuck in, honestly. I think the way I started it off, I said, what did I say? I said, I'm not with that he said, she said shit. And honestly, I'm over all the back and forth. And I just went in from there. The whole time I am confronting him, he is denying. And my issue with that is he was the very person trying to paint me out as if I was scared to say something to him, as if I wouldn't speak up to him, as if I had all these issues. And you know, on his end, he would just be like, well, I just don't understand why she doesn't say anything about it. Like, if it bothers her so much, like, I just don't understand why she doesn't say anything about it. My whole thing with that is the only thing, and I've said this in previous videos, and by the end of this video, y'all will understand why I was so adamant and why I'm so happy that I kept it professional. Because literally, as hard as it was, and as much as I want to cuss everybody out some days, I'm so glad I kept it professional. Like, I'm so fucking glad. The hardest thing by far I've ever had to do, but I'm so glad. But anyway, so that was my only reason for not calling him out, was because I was trying to handle it through HR and the higher ups. So he would try and flip that, me not calling him out, he would try and flip that to other people as I was scared to speak to him, or I was scared to say something. So when we had this conversation, my issue with the conversation was, the whole conversation, he's denying. So you over here trying to paint me out like I'm a scary bitch and I won't say anything, but I confront you and you're on hush mouth. You're, oh, I've never said anything bad about you. I wouldn't do that. I thought we were friends. Mind you, when he said that, I literally was like, pause. I said this verbatim. I said, no, all that is bullshit, because my friends don't talk shit about me behind my back, and people that talk shit about me behind my back, I do not call my friends. I don't call people like that my friends. I don't. I'm like, you know damn well you have been a hater this whole entire time, talking about, oh, I thought we were friends. I don't know anybody who has friends who are genuine friends that will go, and every chance they get, they are talking shit behind that person's back. I don't know what kind of friendships you've had or what kind of friendships you're used to, but this ain't that. So I'm clocked out, but he wasn't clocked out. We're having this conversation, and I addressed the talking about me behind my back. I addressed the fact that he told everybody at his birthday that I was broke. I addressed that I could only afford an appetizer. I was like, I don't understand why you're so concerned about my pockets, and that's none of your business. Like, you don't know my finances to be talking about some trying to tell everybody I'm broke, trying to tell everybody I steal, all this other stuff. And his whole thing was, I didn't say any of that. Like, I just don't know why people are trying to put these words in my mouth, and I just don't understand. And it was, oh my god, y'all, it was like literally, it was faker than these fucking racist YouTubers that be on here trying to force out tears. It was faker than that. Like, it was fake as fuck. And so I told him, I said, so you basically expect me to believe that everybody's just pulling shit out of their ass? For why? Why would people just be making up like, his whole argument was just, I haven't done anything. I thought we were friends. I've never said anything bad about you. I just don't know why people are targeting me like this, or why people are saying this stuff. Another thing I addressed with him too, I was just like, you know, I was like, you keep trying to paint me out as this scary bitch, and this ain't that. Just because I'm not going off on you because I don't want to be seen as the hood bitch if I go off on you, does not mean that I'm a scary bitch, because I ain't that, never been that, never will be that. So I was just addressing everything. When I said that, he was just like, you didn't really address it with me, you addressed it with HR. And I said, like, I addressed it with HR because I'm trying to handle this professionally. I didn't address it with HR because I'm a scary bitch. I guess that whole thing bothered me because I was just like, you're the main person talking the most shit. You're the main person who has the issue. You're talking all the shit. You're the one spreading rumors, spreading lies, talking about I annoy you and I'm this and I'm that. But you never will say anything to my face. Never will say anything to my face. But I'm the one who's scary. Just explain to me, like, somebody make it make sense. Somebody make it make sense. Y'all keep this in mind. When we had this conversation, I had put my phone, so I started my voice record, or your voice memo. So I recorded the entire confrontation. Now, I don't know if I want to insert the recording just because I don't know legally how all that would work out if I were to insert the recording. So I recorded that whole conversation because I just know how he is. He's a compulsive liar. He lies so much. And I knew that if I didn't have any proof to that conversation, he was going to make it sound like that conversation went a completely different way. Like, oh, I told her off and I said this and I said that, when no, bitch. You sat there and you ain't had nothing to say. Now, keep in mind, because that plays a big part in what I'm about to tell you guys later on in this story. So just have that in your head. I recorded the whole entire conversation. When we're having this conversation, he also tries to like mention to me, he's like, you could have got me fired, like talking about the fact that I had went to HR about everything. He was like, you could have got me fired. I live alone. Like, I live by myself. Like, I would have been homeless. And I literally paused him right there. I said, you did not give not one fuck when it was me and my finances and I was trying to go to a different counter and you and your friend sabotaged it. And I know y'all sabotaged that for me. So I do not care. I don't care. I don't. I was not here for them crocodile tears, okay? He literally, when we were having this conversation too, he was trying, I've never seen somebody try so hard to force out tears or to try and sound like they're crying. It was like he tried so hard to squeeze the mugs out. It ain't make no sense whatsoever. So basically, when I mentioned the job situation where I was like, you know, I know you and your friend sabotaged this for me, he was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So then we had that whole conversation. Lacey ended up coming in on the conversation a little bit towards like after I had got my whole piece out, because she was out on the floor with the client. So towards the end of the conversation, she came to the back too, and me and her were addressing him at this point. He's just trying to force out tears, trying to sound like he's such a victim, trying to be like, oh my God, like, I just don't understand where all this went wrong and I just don't get it. Okay, so mind y'all, my ex-manager, before he came on to MAC, he was with another very big cosmetic brand. I won't say which one, but he was with another very big cosmetic brand. And he got fired from that brand as well for being unprofessional and for some other things that happened there. I don't feel like MAC did a good job of doing their research when it came to hiring management, because if they would have known that, they probably would have reconsidered, but they just didn't look into that too much. So he then got the job at MAC, and which resulted in all this messy, drama-filled, hostile, completely toxic environment, because that's just the type of miserable, messy, toxic person that he is. So it was just like, bruh, do your research. Next time, y'all need to do your research.
I also forgot to mention that he admitted to committing fraud on the time clock when Lacey had come in there, and he was like, oh, well, nobody knew until I told you. So that's why it's important to remember I recorded this conversation.
So after that conversation, after I got everything off my chest, I had 2 more shifts to go to finish out my 2 weeks, and I realized that both those shifts were going to be with him, and I just, oh, the energy, every time we were together, the energy was so thick and negative and just like I just did not want to be in there at all. So my last 2 shifts I did not go in because I was like, I can't do it. Once I decided I was not going back, that's when I dropped part 1 to my why I don't like working at MAC. Like, once I was officially like cut my ties, I was done, everything, that's when I dropped part 1 to my video. Of course, KJ and Ariel made it their business to see it too, which, I mean, I was not doubting that they would, so it wasn't really a surprise to me. But what was interesting was that most of the comments I have gotten on part 1 of the video haven't been negative at all, really. Like, honestly, they've been a lot of people who used to work for MAC and were saying, you know, kind of the reasons that they left working for MAC, or why they stopped really enjoying their job there. And then I got a comment. Actually, I got 2 comments from 2 anonymous accounts. I'll post the comment over here or over here while I'm reading it to you guys so that y'all can read along with me. And the comments are literally, it's so obvious that it was either KJ or his best friend Ariel. It had to be one of those 2. They're not slick. It's obvious as hell. And that's my thing. Like, if y'all are so buck, and if y'all are so about it and y'all aren't scary and I'm the scary one, why is it that y'all are hiding behind fake pages to address the situation? You know, it's just like, why are you hiding behind fake pages to address the situation? When that happened, I think the video had been up for 3 days. So originally I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna send the conversation to my regional manager. I was like, you know, it is what it is. I actually sat on the conversation, like I had it for like a week, maybe a week and a half. Within 2 days of me sending that conversation, KJ got fired. And I guess he saw the video right when he got fired and he decided to comment. I'm going to throw this in here too, just because I don't want to forget it, but I'm going to throw this in here too, and then I'm going to read you guys the comments. I think it really speaks to the fact that situations will happen to humble you, because KJ's favorite thing to always say would be, in reference to other people, would be, oh, well, they're working their little $12 hour job, or they're working their little $14 hour job. Like, they don't make as much as us at Mac. Like, they little this, they little that. And I'm just looking like, at the end of the day, he used to work at Starbucks at one point in time. Like, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where you came from. Don't get too cocky. Don't act like just as quick as you get something, it can't be taken away, because that's when you mess up. So I'm about to read y'all the comments that him and his best friend, or maybe it was just him from 2 different accounts, left under my YouTube video. So under my part 1, I deleted the comments, but I screenshotted them before I deleted them. So the first comment reads, the best part about this long and overdrawn video is that Lacey is actually the one who told KJ everything you had plotted. Ain't nobody plotting on y'all. Anyway, the regional manager is too professional to warn KJ of anything. That would be a breach of contract / confidentiality. Your so-called girl is the one who stabbed you in the back, laughed at you, and ratted you out. And if she was a real ass bitch, she'd let you know that. Be careful who you call friend. This world is full of two-faced people. Cute story though. Can't wait for part 2. By the way, did the particular department store you recorded sign a release form for this video? My thing is, like, as personal as that comment is, like, that's somebody who's been personally offended, like somebody who is personally offended, personally affected, and they're feeling some type of way and they're mad. KJ. So the second one is a lot longer, and what's crazy to me is everything that was said in the second comment are things that are the opposite of my character and so mirror image of his character. Like, they said, what are qualities of KJ, and we're just gonna project all his qualities onto her and say that it was her. So I'm about to read this to y'all. So the second one reads, you are a miserable person, LOL. The fact that you get on IG and talk about negative energy and bullying when you're the bully yourself. Now, pause. So what they're talking about was on IG, after heard the news that he had got fired, I posted something, and I think what I said was, karma is a bitch, but she my bitch. Mind y'all, these are the same people that claim like they don't be worried about me or nothing, but you steady checking my Instagram, all that. And I'll get to all that later too, because there's more of that. The second thing that I said, I can't remember what I said, but in essence, it was something about what you put into the world is what you get back. So if you put out negativity, that's what you will get, is negativity. The comment continues, you are a self-absorbed, ugly person on the inside, and I feel sorry for you. Making an hour-long video ranting about a job you hate. When you first got it, you couldn't stop bragging about it. LOL. You will never be happy with anything because you're miserable and negative 24/7. All your videos are complaining about how the jobs you were at fault. It says, have you ever stopped to think that maybe it's you? You're constantly worried about the next and constantly exposing when you need to be exposing your damn self. You're dramatic as fuck constantly and just a materialistic, sad person. I suggest you seek therapy to help cure your narcissistic and disgusting personality. Y'all big mad, okay? Big mad. Yeah, I just thought that comment was really interesting because I have to explain it for y'all, because as viewers, y'all don't know me personally, but all my friends, family, anybody who knows me knows I'm a very upbeat, optimistic, positive person. I'm cool, I'm chill. I'm never in drama. Like, literally, this thing that happened at Mac is the first time I've been in anything since, like, I was probably like, what, 22? Maybe 21? 22 or 21. I'll be 25 this year. So I mind my business. I don't like drama. I'm very, very, very rarely, like, never in drama. So I thought that was interesting. And then I thought it was really interesting because it's like, you spent all this time trying to make somebody so miserable, and now you're mad that that person got their justice. So it's just like, at the end of the day, treat people how you want to be treated. That's literally the whole, that's the message I'm trying to convey to y'all. Treat people the way that you want to be treated, because what you put out into the world does come back and it does affect you, and karma is really a bitch. But karma is only a bitch if you're a shitty person. Yeah, so him and his friend, or maybe just him, 2 separate pages, commented those things. And then also his best friend, who, like I keep saying, I don't understand how they keep claiming that they're so real or they're so straightforward, because literally anytime they've ever had anything to say about me, they've never said it to me. They've always said it to somebody else. And I don't like scary people like that. Like, I might not ever be in drama, but I don't like to be in confrontation, but confrontation does not at all bother me. Like, dealing with confrontation does not bother me, if that makes sense. Like, I don't purposely go out and start shit, but if shit is started and if it's worth addressing, or if I feel like it needs to be addressed, I have no issue finishing it. So the comments happened or whatever, I deleted them. It was cool. I got a call from, what did I call her in the other video? I called her Taylor. Taylor was the one who was like, I don't come to you guys counter anymore, just because I just don't like all the negative energy that KJ puts out, and the fact that he's always talking bad about people. And Taylor still calls me to check up on me and stuff, because she's just a cool person. Like, she calls me to see how I'm doing and stuff. And she was like, yeah. So I was talking to Ariel, and she was claiming that she finds out where your new job is, she's gonna come and she's gonna throw pennies at you, because I was working nightlife. She loves to talk big shit. You literally would never. I would punch you in your throat. You would never. So I literally, oh my god, y'all, they get on my nerves. But, and then she mentioned that she had friends watching my page, like watching my Instagram, but then at the same time, y'all claim to always be. I just don't understand why she's dragging this out. We're not concerned about it. Like, we don't even, like, we're over it. This and they love to, like, people love to be so concerned about your life and your business and you as a person, and then in the same breath say, oh, I don't pay attention to her, I don't keep up with her. That'd be people's favorite thing. Like, the most pressed people to keep up with everything in your life are always the ones who are going to be like, oh, I don't care what she has going on. Clearly you care. She also mentioned that she had told Taylor a couple other things on other occasions, that I was a waste of space at the counter, that I couldn't do makeup, that she doesn't understand why they hired me. Mind you, every time we worked together, which was rare that we did, but when we did work together, she was all smiles and giggles, all nice and whatnot, but you talking shit. And it really just goes to show how genuinely intimidated KJ and Ariel felt by me as a person, that they had to talk all of this shit. Like, if you weren't intimidated by me as a person or by my talent, you would not talk all this shit. Like, it's just, it was just such hater shit. I think it was a mixture of the fact, not in a cocky sense at all, I think it was a mixture of the fact I was talented and I was pretty, and it pissed both of them off. She was very heavyset. She was a big girl. To me, she was very pretty. Not personality wise, clearly now after the fact, but to me she was very pretty. But she was also very heavy set. Maybe she felt threatened by that, I don't know. He was very miserable, very insecure about his life, and so he just exuded misery. So that would explain why he felt the need to always be hating. So I addressed Ariel. I texted her, and I can't read y'all the text because I'm recording off my phone, but I texted her. I was just like, look, at the end of the day, both y'all have my number. I'm tired of y'all trying to paint me out as being scary, and both y'all have my number, and none of these times have either one of y'all chose to use it, not once. And y'all both, y'all have full access to communicate with me. And never, not once, have y'all said anything but I'm scary, but y'all the ones talking all this shit. I don't go back and talk shit about them. Like, never once. Even after figuring out everything that was happening, I still would never talk shit about them, because I'm just not miserable like that. Like, I might have been depressed about the situation and stuff, but as a whole, I'm just not a missable person. Like, I'm just not. So I addressed her, and she tried to get like bugged for like 2 seconds, and yeah, then I just blocked her because I was like, girl, bye. In the meantime, like after he got fired and stuff, like what kills me is that his friends would continue to try and make it seem as though like, oh, well, we just don't understand why she took it that far. That has been their argument, their thing that they like to say this whole time was, we don't understand why she took it that far. My thing is, I didn't take anything that far. I don't understand why he was talking so much shit about me and trying to get me fired and trying to fuck up my finances and trying to fuck up me going to other counters. Is that not taking things far? Like, but me talking to HR is, I took it too far. Okay. Y'all have a different version than I do, but okay. They would all try and make it sound as though I just couldn't take a joke. Like, oh, like, well, we just told him, like, you know, not everybody jokes the same. Like, not everybody jokes. No, it was never an issue about me not being able to take a joke. I can take a joke. I am not easily offended. There's a difference between joking and just blatantly talking shit, defaming somebody's character. You know, if it was a joke, then why couldn't y'all joke in front of me? If it was a joke, then why is it that, you know, if it was a joke, why is it you only joked with me like that? You never joked with Lacey like that, or you never joked with Ariel like that. You never joked with your other little minion friends at other counters. You never joked with anybody like that. You knew you weren't joking. You were blatantly talking shit, spreading rumors, spreading lies. You know, all that is not, that's not joking. Like, stop trying to make it seem like you're so innocent. You're the victim. You just, oh my God. Like, I was just joking. I don't understand. Bitch, you know exactly what the fuck you did. So, no. So yeah, that was kind of what irritated me, was that everybody kept on trying to make it seem like I just couldn't take a joke. Like, nah. Also, in terms of joking and whatnot, like, it would be, and I forgot to mention in the other 2 videos that KJ would also, he would tell people that, and maybe I did brush on this right quick, but there would be days where I was working or I was scheduled to come in. He would tell people, clientele, that I was not coming into work, that I wasn't working that week. And it would be people that would literally would be, because people witnessed this. Like, Taylor witnessed this, and she told me, and she was like, you know, I've literally seen him, somebody come up to the counter, very adamant about scheduling with you, and he'd be like, oh, she's not working this week. And they'd be like, oh, well, you know, when will she be back? Because I really want her. And he would tell them, well, she's not working, but I can do your makeup. Boy, bye. There were multiple occasions. Like, my friends even called up at one point looking for me. Not even because they wanted to schedule an appointment, just because I had been so busy that weekend they hadn't heard from me. And they called up there to see if I was there. He told them I wasn't at work. There were multiple times he would tell people that I was not at work when I was at work. After the fact, so since then, word around town is that he's been trying to get jobs at other counters at the bougie mall that I used to be at. He just sabotaged his name so much that that mall or that department store within that mall isn't really, they are fucking with him. I don't know why, but they can't really fuck with him all the way, because it's like half of them are, and then the other half just knows what kind of person he is, and knows that even though he is very good with sales, they just know what kind of drama and what kind of toxic environment he brings to counters. So that basically got dubbed. And ironically, the counter that he sabotaged for me would not fuck with hiring him either, because they heard the real story, and after hearing that and realizing what actually happened, it changed the woman who originally had like a little bias against me just because she felt like I was gonna bring drama to the counter. It kind of changed her mind on that when she heard the real story, and she was not about to let him come over there either. So he really ended up shooting himself in the own foot, trying to mean girl me. Once everything was cleared up, I actually went back to that counter just to like clear my name, and like I wanted to reapply because actually I really like their products and whatnot, and you know, I want to be a part of their team. So I went back and I got hired. So that is great. So that's my little life update at the end of this all. So I've gotten hired at the counter that he originally sabotaged for me, and my business outside has been also picking up a lot. And yeah, honestly, so oh, rewind, because back to him trying to get a job at the Bougie Mall. He was trying to guilt trip them, talking about, oh, I'm gonna be homeless in a week or two, or you know, my friends are buying my groceries. So, like I said, y'all, be humble. Please be humble, because just as quick as you can gain it, you can lose it. So yeah, he was trying to use all that to guilt trip the girl who's his friend into giving him the position at that other counter. But as a whole, that team and then the team that's above them and stuff, they just weren't really having it. So I am in a lot better place, and I'm so happy that everything worked out and that I have rid myself of that toxic drama, and I'm just ready to move forward. I'm no longer concerned about the situation. These videos are to tell my story. They aren't to keep it going. They're just to tell my story. It's what I went through, and I felt like this was my outlet, kind of. And now that I've gotten all that off my chest, like, I feel good. So, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.